everyone that came out here. I did not expect such a big crowd in front of me. My name is Manish Rangan, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of UVSET Inc. Now, COVID-19, we all know the name by now. Just a show of hands, who here has either had COVID or has had a family member catch the disease in the last few months? It's a lot of you, most of you. And that is because we're dealing with the disease that has an infection rate double that of the standard flu. We're dealing with a disease that has put the entire world into lockdown multiple times. And we're dealing with a disease that has put millions of employees out of their jobs and millions of students out of their educations. And so I ask you, how do we as a society prevent the spread of such a prevalent disease? Well, in order to answer this question, let's take a step back and ask a broader question. What areas in our households are the biggest spreaders of pathogens and viruses? Do you think it's your toilet seats? Your bathroom floors? In actuality, it's your door handles. See, according to a study conducted by the University of Arizona, if an infected person walks into a building using the standard door handle, within just 2 to 4 hours, 40 to 60% of the people within that office will be infected by said virus. A similar study found that hospital workers only washed their hands about 40% of the time. And once again, within just a few hours, 40 to 60% of the workers within that hospital would have been infected by said disease. A third study conducted by the University of Colorado found that up to 3,000 different colonies of bacteria can be found on the human hands at any given time. But what does this actually mean? What do these statistics mean? Well, COVID-19 is not the first world-changing disease, and it won't be the last. Let's just take statistics from the flu, for example. The flu causes about 40,000 deaths in the US every single year, primarily in the vulnerable population. That's people over the age of 65, under the age of 5, or just generally immunocompromised people. From a business perspective, the flu is also responsible for 200 million days of diminished productivity, 100 million days of bed disability, and 75 million days of work absences across all businesses across the US every single year, which is estimated to cost these businesses $13 billion in losses every single year. So now that I've established the problem, let me introduce you to the team that came together to solve it. Team UVSET, comprised of 4 high schoolers and 1 college student. Myself, Vihan Yurabundi, Hamza Sheikh, Hisham Ahmed, and Ayman Khan. We're all graduates of the Discover STEM program where we learned how to innovate, hence why our chief mentor is Mr. Mirza Faizan, the CEO of Discover STEM. We are also backed by venture capitalist firm Kubera Ventures and have a $750,000 LOI on the table. On top of this, we have incredible product manufacturers and credible product designers. So it is clear that Team UVSET is here to lead the charge to the future. Now, our product and our solution to solve this issue is Safe Touch. Our patent-pending design utilizes UV light, a proven cleanser of bacteria and viruses, and is much more convenient than traditional cleaning methods. It uses a ring motorized system that goes up and down and cleans your door handle within just a minute. It is entirely UV leak proof, meaning that any customers that use the door handle will not feel the adverse effects of UV light on their skin. It is incredibly easy to install and requires minimal maintenance, and most importantly, kills over 99% of pathogens and viruses on your door handle. Now looking towards a marketing perspective. Our target demographic is to hit every area that has a lot of vulnerable people and a lot of congestion of people, as these are the areas that are going to be the most susceptible to the spread of diseases. Obviously, not all places are the same in terms of vulnerability and congestion, hence the tier system that is presented on the screen. Tier 1 is the cheapest but the slowest to clean. Essentially, this uses the least amount of LEDs, so it will clean the slowest, but it will also be the cheapest to buy. This will be catered towards areas that are less congested and less vulnerable people, such as small businesses. Tier 3 is going to be the flip side of this, which is going to be the most expensive as it uses the most LEDs and will be the fastest to clean. This is going to be catered towards the places that are the most vulnerable and the most congested, hence like hospitals and schools. Tier 2 is just anywhere in between, ranging from old age homes to daycare centers, etc., etc. It really just depends on what your business feels is the most beneficial. But what does this actually mean? $100, $200, $300? Well, for an office setting, if we estimate an average company to have 1,000 employees, we can estimate their total productivity loss per year to be $200,000, which means that if they buy about 40 of these products for about $250 each, that will be a $10,000 investment in order to bring down a $200,000 loss, which I think is very worth it. And it looks like even more of a no-brainer when we look towards the assisted living centers and the child care centers. The average resident of an assisted living center pays about $4,300 every single month, meaning that an investment into a $250 product will cost 0.09 cents per day per device, a tenth of a cent to better ensure the safety of somebody that is over 65 and very vulnerable. And the same applies for childcare centers, 0.69 of a cent per day per device. Very much still very well in the realm of needing to buy this product. So far, our evolution goes as follows on the screen. Over the last 2 years, we have innovated, designed, and now we're on the second stage of prototyping for our design. Now, we are currently looking towards this future for crowdfunding, and within a month or so, we are looking to hit the crowdfunding stage proper. Anyway, our mission at the end of the day is to aid as many people as humanly possible, and I think everyone deserves an equal opportunity to live, regardless of their caste, regardless of their creed, and regardless of their immunodiseases. Thank you for listening.